All right, let's get into a weekly update. We'll talk about Bitcoin's price action, where we had shorted here. I think in the previous video, we had a head short. We'd taken near the top of this at 102, ran it down to our first target at about 99.5, and had a plan for a long. It didn't make it into the members' signals. It happened while I was away, but it was set up in the ideas. So if anyone took it out of the ideas, it did absolutely trigger and took off from there. I had been looking for another entry point. I was looking at this decline for about 103. We front ran that and continued up. So now we're looking a little toppy, just for a small correction, nothing major. I don't think yet, but if we can continue down, dip price to cover our CME gap. Let me pull up the CME chart real quick. We dip down to cover that CME gap here at 102,470. I think we could roll down, cover that, and then continue back up. What we're looking to test is the top of this value area high, that range, and then we'll run our stops down past that 618. We continue down into there and could be invalid. What I'm really hoping is to catch some catch some momentum off this anchored VWAP off of our low. So looking for anchor VWAP, hit value area high. That's the range I want to be in. As soon as we start to get some idea in this zone, if we're getting reactive or not, we'll know whether or not we can move our stops to protect. This is really just for wicking in case we come down and wick this low to get an SFP with a fast candle. That's what the stop is all the way down here for. I'll probably move it up once we get a reaction. Move it fairly quickly, probably this prior low here, 105.9. So it will be a bit of a dicey entry, but we're trying to catch that trend and trying to catch that momentum while we still have it. Our upper targets remain the same. I'm still primary target is the 1618 from this high to low on the range, and that is 113,439 with a new secondary target for extension up at 122,992. That lines up not with this chart. I've got another one. Hold on. That lines up with this chart, right? So similar idea where we come down, possibly test the bottom of the range. Now this is a little bit further down, so this gives us some idea of possible structural support if we continue to fall. Hopefully not far out of here. We could wick down out of this too, down into the 90s. Hopefully we don't go that far. I would like to see it keep some momentum, maybe not even hit the bottom wall here and then come back up. And it may just come back up into the top. That'll get us our 113 target. But I do have a long-term target at 125, 890. It doesn't have to go all the way up there. Just those are the areas of possibility on our long-term chart. Let's see. So those are my plans for Bitcoin. Now, if we roll up into here and we find more weakness, that could be a short opportunity. Or if we come up, I'd say up into these tops, kind of get wicky and start to fail down, we might also take another short there. Anything that gets us a decent stop loss without, I don't know why there we go. Anything that gets us a decent stop loss, right, without breaking a new high. Say we come up, hit that, and we could take that short down into here, possibly hedge it all the way down to this VWAP. I'd honestly look at the range point of control as kind of my max, but that gives you a 5, almost a 6-to-1 ratio. That's a great ratio, and you could take the majority out here at our entry, which is a little over 3-to-1 ratio. It's still really good for first profit. So that could be an idea, but I'm not going to leave this one up on the chart just because I want to see how price action evolves here before I go with it. And because we're in a rising market, I have to be careful, extra careful with shorts. So I'd rather play the longs, and that's my next long idea. Down here, value area high range, just under 102,000. So I want to see that hit and hold as support. Reclaim of this anchored VWAP. That's my ideal. All right, let's move on to some of the other markets just to catch up. Spy is just trailing out. Not a whole lot going on there. We're still holding under the hop level here. Ideally, this hop remains at sorry, at 618. We can validate, I think, about 626 is where we validate that hop. So I'm still looking up at about 620. I think be a good, just shy of that would be good on the spy, and that would probably be our topping point there. We do have a smaller pattern we were tracking here on the Qs, and we're playing around up at the hop. Now, momentum on the daily doesn't look particularly bearish, but we are failing highs. I think it plausible that we at least, even if we blow out this pattern, I think a plausible case could be made for running it down to fill in this gap here at 517 before deciding where it wants to go. If we break that, right, because this breaks this little low point, if we break that and hold under it, then we might get that might be a trigger for a lower high and then down into our target. It gives us more harmonic structure, as you can see. Um, and then we could run something like that, like a butterfly out on that first target here in the box. See, the first target is about 486. So yeah, if we look like we're going to roll over here, if we start to fail out here, the short could be run. I'd put the stop just over the high up here at 539, and then you could run a short down to 517, close out that CME gap, and then look for another failed high. See if we get the failed high, then we can run down to this first target. That could be our first indication that things are getting starting to get bearish. That maybe the market's starting to cool off for a little while, and that could either be our launching pad up, or for another higher low, where we take this structure that we made and we extend it out right into. I'm doing this wrong, but yeah, we grabbed the wrong one. Yeah, then we extend that structure out into something more of a like a bat pattern. I mean, we fail to come down into this. Don't break this low. Just come down and take those out. Maybe a little bit lower to that 886. Then we got a nice bat pattern we can use to run back up and continue the bull run, or that just starts a series of lower highs and we capitulate down into our weekly target range, which is 409 to 350. Structurally, right now, the Qs have the best opportunities and structure. I think those would be my plays. The spy, you see this indecision, this knotting up here. I do think it's possible it could run for another high before falling back down. It's not giving me nearly as much structure to play off of, but again, shorting in these markets is very risky. You're fighting all that momentum. Um, Run down nat gas. I did move my stop on this on nat gas to 284.38. Put that back where it was. So we're still targeting 390. Yeah, just shy of $4 on the Pepperstone. Yeah, Pepperstone chart. That's a mouthful. And TMF, it's another one I think you guys roll on. You see, we're just not doing anything particularly fun on TMF. Looks like we're lost this trend channel, so I'm going to take that out. It looks non-applicable. See how we fell through, fell up, fell through again. So that's out. Sideways channel it is. So looking at a hole under 42.66. We start going much further into that, and this could just be a slow drip. Um, really looking for some bullish structure to be made here. It looks like we have some of the markings of it. Let's see. Yeah, we have enough ratio here. Could be the markings of it. Could have something in here, maybe another back, get us up at least to 63.40, and then maybe another down before we head out of this range. I would like to see our long term targets start to hit up here at 106, and then maybe the final destination box, 261 to 382. I tell you, I'd be happy to let go a lot of this, but a lot of it at 261. So those are my holdings so far on TMF. You see, look, long ways to go. Tiny little patterns down here. They look big when I blow them up. Really, we're playing the long game on this one. So buckle in. You're going to be riding this for a while. Uh, I think that's it for that'll do it for the weekly update. I'll go into more depth on our individual stocks, and we'll revisit some altcoins and stuff too a little later on. Um, for the members, if you're curious or interested in all the other things we talk about and all our other assets, just follow the links below, join up, and come follow us on the Discord and or the website. Um, and yeah, got any questions? Let me know. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.